paintball. My passion for music journalism shouldn't really be a surprise to anyone after that introduction. Journalism major, music minor. It makes sense for me to do a music journalism project for my senior project, and that's exactly what I did, Mammoth Music Club. My thought process when I was planning this project was, well, Eric, what kind of writing do you want to do? And I thought, I want to do in-depth profiles on musical artists. That's what I want to get very good at, as opposed to critiques of performances or recordings. I want to do in-depth profiles on artists and tell their story. And then I thought, what medium do I want to do this on? Do I want to try to get in a local newspaper, kind of do a freelance thing and try to get articles published in magazines, or do I want to build a website and put everything online? And that's what I decided to do, but who goes to a website with just text and profiles of musical artists? I don't, and I wouldn't. If I found one, I wouldn't go back to it. So that plays into one of the three main theories that this project was grounded on. The uses and gratifications theory states that media consumers play an active role in choosing and using media. So, in order to give consumers of my website choices, I incorporated videos and downloadable MP3s for them to experience alongside the main centerpiece of my project, which was the written profiles. So this not only gave my consumers choices of what they wanted, of how to draw them into the website, but it also showed my skills as a convergent journalist with my written profiles, my website design, my audio production, and video production as well, which was something brand new to me at the time. So over the summers when I started this project, I put about 30 hours into this project before this semester even started, and that was largely spent designing the website. I used Squarespace.com as opposed to a WordPress blog. I decided I was going to use SoundCloud to host MP3s and Vimeo to host my videos instead of YouTube, because I like the embedded widget of Vimeo videos a whole lot better than YouTube. I also contacted bands that I wanted to feature, and among those were Rudy Valdez, who is a folk singer from right here in Marion, Indiana, the Ashland Project, which is an alternative rock band from Springfield, Illinois, Betty and the Bandits, which is a pop group from Neoga, Illinois, Brian Sanashi, who's a composing student right here, and then Elsinore, which is a band that has had some pretty notable commercial success from Champaign-Urbana, Illinois. And also over the summer, I started doing some preliminary interviews over the phone with the artists that I couldn't see, and I started shooting some video with the artists that I was closer to. And this is actually a sketch that I did sometime in May about what I wanted the website to look like. You see I got the artist names here on the side, and then artist bios, videos, and MP3s over there on the top right. Unfortunately, I didn't get the Two Guys band. They weren't available to work with me, but that's okay. I got some five other great artists. And I actually changed the name. I didn't want Discover Midwest Music. I thought that was very generic, so I went with something that just kind of popped in my head. And this is what the website looks like now. Very similar layout. With all the interviews that I did about over 2 hours of interviews with every artist that I featured. I ran into some situations that really illustrated these two theories. Berger's uncertainty reduction theory, which says when two people meet, they want to eliminate uncertainties that they have about the other person as soon as possible. So I saw this specifically when I went to visit Betty and the Bandits in Neoga. I was driving through on my way to school and stopped in, and they welcomed me into their house, and we were kind of making polite small talk, and I could definitely tell that both of us, myself and the lead singer of that band, were trying to figure out exactly how comfortable we could be around the other person, if we could joke around with them. And as time progressed, we got more comfortable with each other, and by the end of the afternoon, we were having really fruitful conversations. Another is Walther's social information processing theory, which talks about the media richness of different media as they carry communication. And I saw this illustrated very well in phone interviews versus face-to-face conversations that I had with the artists. Phone interviews were a necessity because I couldn't go to Champaign-Urbana, Illinois, several times over the semester. I couldn't drive back home as much as I wanted to, so I had to do phone interviews as well as face-to-face interviews. And specifically with Ryan, the lead singer of Elsinore, I noted that when we did phone interviews with him and I asked him about recording his new album, he talked a lot about, well, he didn't really talk that much about it, actually. That's what's interesting. He kind of was very systematic about it. He stated the facts. You know, we recorded with Bo Sorensen, who's from Portland. We spent about 12 days in the studio. I'm really excited about it. He was really vague in the way he talked about it. But when I went to go interview them in person, Ryan's face lit up when he was talking about his experience with Bo. And I could tell with his body language that he was more comfortable. He was opening up more. He actually told some funny anecdotes about the owner of the studio, which he never did over the phone. With video, I actually ran into several problems. First of all was a lack of experience on my part, and I knew that was going to be an issue. This was the first time I ever did any serious video production. So to give you an example, the first 3 videos of the 5 that I shot without a tripod, which everyone knows that is a big no-no. So I learned very quickly. I had to get a crash course in Final Cut Pro and editing, just simple editing from Tim Skurlock, who was very gracious to help me. And for the Elsinore shoot at the very end of the semester, I ran into some lack of equipment that I really wanted, but I pushed through and I made some really great progress with the video work that I did. Audio recordings, I really didn't have any issues. I think that was one of the strongest points of my project was the audio quality of the recordings that I did. I used my own equipment, my own microphones, recorded onto my laptop using GarageBand, and thanks to being a recording musician myself, being a member of PAC staff in the past, and some radio production courses, I was able to capture very good audio for my videos and then also offer them as downloadable MP3s. As I sit here and reflect on my project, I'm very happy with myself. As far as the written portion, which is the main portion, that's what the core of this project was, I feel like I developed my own voice very well over the course of the semester. When I first started, my first few profiles of the bands, they were very kind of hard news written. I told stories with the band's quotes instead of with my own voice, leaving their quotes for some really meaningful and powerful points to be made. So I feel like I developed my own voice very well over the course of the semester. For the videos that I shot, although they were supplementary, I beat myself up about them a lot because they weren't very good at the beginning. But I made some extreme progress. I still have a long way to go, but I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking to do more videos per artist in the future. In audio, I'm very happy with the way it went. I'm going to try to do more full band recordings in the future with drum sets and close miking instruments instead of room microphones. I have to thank the artists. They were wonderful to work with. I feel like I made some really great contacts and friends in them. And of course, my editing and advising colleagues and Dr. Huckins, my advisor, for editing and giving me advice throughout the semester. And of course, my wonderful fiance, Brooke, who helped me film a couple of the bands that I wasn't able to handle 3 cameras at once. So she helped me and kept me sane, as well as my parents and brothers who sent me encouragement over the semester. And of course, the Lord for providing me with this amazing opportunity to make everything happen, and all the pieces came together over the semester. So, are there any questions? Dr. Evans.
Will you be keeping up the website and adding to it after the semester is over?
Yeah, I will. I've got at least one more artist who's I've already worked with and shot video for, and I've got a couple others that I've talked to about doing over Christmas break when I'm back home.
My question was your comment about video versus YouTube. What is it that makes you gravitate toward video?
The appearance of a Vimeo video embedded in a website, to me, is much more visually appealing than a YouTube embedded video. Just the layout of the way the image looks, the way it's framed, and all the design that goes into just the timeline of the video, the play button, sharing opportunities, like sharing to Facebook or something